A rough start to this final Friday of May across central and eastern Kentucky. Here in the Bluegrass, some flooding rains this morning, and of course that lone supercell that spun up that isolated tornado that was damaging and unfortunately deadly across eastern Washington County. Rest of the day spent with a mix of clouds and sunshine, a few scattered showers and breezy conditions. Now there is good news, mainly dry, although a low-end shower chance. That's going to hang around as we close out the month tomorrow. Summer warmth on the way, kicking off June, especially on Monday. Does look like more storm chances later next week, but the good news is warmer air is going to be hanging around. Viper radar showing a bit of activity along the Kentucky-Ohio border and far eastern Kentucky, but much of the rest of what we have across the area is out west and beginning to diminish, at least for the time being. Of course, what drove the train this morning, area of low pressure and a warm front, that created that isolated supercell that was just riding that boundary across west central and eventually areas just south of Lexington. Behind the low, that northwest wind really kicked up. Still got a few thunderstorms out along the I-65 corridor. Organized severe weather off to our east. Clouds have filled back in. There with a live look at Mount Sterling, Montgomery County, it's 64. So temperatures really kind of struggled to get back into the 60s. Meanwhile, Jackson County near McKee at the Kentucky Mesonet site there, we're at 63. Of course, areas of eastern Kentucky where the rain just departed within the last hour or so, low 60s, back into some sunshine here in the Bluegrass westward, mid to upper 60s. Still below average for this time of the year. We're going to change that by early next week. And those wind gusts 20 to 25, I think they will back down after sunset. Pressing the 80-degree mark, St. Louis, Springfield, Illinois, that warmer air eventually gets in here, but not until Monday. And here's why. Area of low pressure that caused all the issues this morning moving out. But notice the frontal boundary up here over the Great Lakes. That's going to drop straight to the south and eventually move through early tomorrow morning. So futurecast, the activity dies out. And then we could see some additional showers during the early hours of Saturday. And then once the sun comes up, we'll start out in the mid-50s in the morning. Notice south of the I-64 corridor, we get a few pop-ups, so there is the potential of that isolated shower or two, although most locations I think will end up being dry. And of course, that is great news with the Railbird Festival going on this weekend out at the Red Mile. Again, tomorrow, stray shower mid-70s, and with that front moving through, that's going to keep a north to northeast wind in place. We'll start out in the upper 40s on Sunday morning and then recover into the mid-70s, so a really nice day. It's not going to be overly hot or anything or muggy, and that's good news. Notice the lack of rainfall, so we're in good shape in that regard. So looking ahead, that boundary will be far enough to the south Sunday to keep the rain and storms to our south as high pressure takes over, and as it builds in, plenty of sunshine. We'll work our way back up to around 80. We can finally, with our temperature trend for the first time in several weeks, say we're going above average heading into early next week. Bit of a trough, of course, with the cooler air behind that front this weekend. It relaxes out into New England. Here comes the warmer air, and a lot of the lower 48 going to get to enjoy some summer-like air just in time for the first few days of June. Mostly cloudy, a few showers hanging around during the overnight, mid-50s in the morning, mostly sunny, a breezy day. Northwest winds 10 to 15. Isolated showers, rumble of thunder or two down south. Looking good to begin June, definitely Monday, Tuesday, and a lot of Wednesday as temperatures climb back into the low to mid-80s. Frontal boundary moves in, puts on the brakes next Thursday and Friday, so those storm chances return, but temperatures still look pretty good with afternoon highs right around 80.